Okay, so, hello, people. Welcome. Just quickly going to double check that everything's working alright, because I had to switch some stuff around in OBS. Just quickly see if...
OBS has been a pain in the ass.
No, it's more I had to switch stuff around, but... Okay, everything's working. Everything's working. Good. So hello people to Star Trek Pathos, Season 1, Episode 13, Episode name, or rather number, 1788771, Part 2. Before we get started, quick little request. If you are watching this archived, please watch it archived on YouTube, because there I can see how well these things are doing. On Twitch, it's a bit harder to do. So, welcome. I've got the players here, of course. So, hello.
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 Would you like to introduce yourselves and your characters?
I would like to introduce myself and my character.
Good.
Sure. So, yes. Hello everyone. I'm CangoFango. At this point I would switch my light on, but it is quite light here, so I won't. I'm also sometimes referred to as just Cango, and I play the USS Pathos' Chief Communications Officer by the name of Doviah Drenlich Twossock, who is a human.
Thank you.
Alright. I am Dodrebur, usually referred to as Dodd, because, pronunciation and all that. And I play Captain Shiun of the USS Pathos, who is a Vulcan.
Thank you.
I am Sir Rogue, and I play Nero the Flight Controller.
Thank you very much.
Great.
So, last time, would anyone like to mention some stuff that happened last time? Or should I just do the recap?
Stupid captain bet a ship he didn't own, and now we have to fix his mess. End summary.
And I heard Robin is enjoying himself as well in the background. Good. Good. So...
No, he's just causing chaos. I think he's playing a witch still.
Right. So,
let's just go.
Found your way to this station. I'll quickly look up the name of it. It is called the Fairhouse Station, and you followed the trail, as you said, of a Starfleet captain who is captain by position but lieutenant by rank, namely commanding officer of the USS Translucent, which is now in civilian service after he had apparently lost it in gambling activity on the station. You've had a chat with the manager here, or maybe owner, probably manager. You're not entirely sure of her exact station, but she was very cooperative, at least I think she was. Gave you information about what happened. Did not shoot you with her hidden away energy weapon, which you did find.
Oh yes.
And told you that the people you're looking for are still on board, namely working in the processing area, which are the lower decks of the station, to earn enough credits to be able to buy transport off of the station somewhere else. Before you left the office, however, you each received a complimentary betting token. Shiun received 3 refined duranium bars, Doviah a set of Starfleet gravity plating, which I did roll for all this. Where they got the Starfleet gravity plating, well, that's another question. Nero got a Fairhouse brand authentic Fairhouse Station Star Tally dice set token, and Zaveru got something that you don't know yet.
Yep.
Right.
So, I believe that is everything currently important, yes? Oops. There we
I think that's it, yeah.
I believe so.
go. Okay. Hello, VGR. Welcome. So, sorry I didn't see you before. I had my other window over the chat. So, you've just left the office, and as you enter the turbolift to take it down to the main area where you already know where the entrances to this lower decks area is.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you would like to discuss on the way? Or no?
There are. I would like to call the Pathos.
Mm-hmm.
The Westaker is there, and I'm going to tell him
Doviah as well.
And Doviah as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Oh wait, is Doviah there?
Yes, I am.
I thought Doviah was with us.
Yeah.
Or is that?
I'm,
no.
with
Sorry.
the captain.
I'm mixing up games. It was in the other game that
Right.
Kango's
Yeah.
character was back on the
Yes,
ship.
yeah.
That's my mistake.
Right.
I wasn't sure what you meant.
It's
but yeah.
because Westaker was Mr. W's character, who remained on the ship
Yes.
and in both games. That's what got me.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, Westaker's there.
Mhm.
Yes. So anyway, I am going to tell him to be extra diligent that no one leaves the ship. As doing any activity on this station is a big problem. I will also tell him that regardless of whatever other communications we arrange, give us a warning in 8 hours that we need to get off the station very soon, because 12 hours after we arrived here, if we're still here, we need to make a bet, which means we need to offer the ship as collateral, which is bad.
Very
It
bad.
shouldn't take too long. We just need to get the captain and the crew together and then get out of here, right?
In theory. But
Okay.
then I don't know what this captain is like.
Yep.
He might not want to go
Apparently.
with you.
Maybe he's stupid in more ways than offering a ship as collateral, despite the fact that he does not own said ship.
Mm-hmm.
So agree is then, well, stupid.
So, Westaker acknowledges, and
Nice.
yeah, he wishes you luck. And he does make a point about emphasizing the word luck.
How very amusing.
So, you make it to the casino area, this big open room, and the same crowd around this
Oh, and
one-
also,
Yes?
just for clarity,
Sure.
when telling Westaker to give us an 8-hour warning, I will also ask him to confirm that the 12-hour limit is in Earth hours.
Yes, sure. That's not going to be an issue.
Good.
Just,
That's, it's
just to be
good.
safe.
Yes.
It's good to be extra safe.
Yeah.
You mean you don't want to lose the Pathos in a betting game?
No. I don't want to
None of us-
play a betting game.
I mean, you've got a free token. You've got to use that, surely.
I refuse.
So,
Technically, we don't use
so you get back into the big open casino area. Same crowd around the kind of circular glass table with that red dome above. And as you're crossing the space, you're getting a little bit closer to it. You can see past people's shoulders that in the center, because it's like a ring table, and there's one employee. She's playing the game with the customers. In the center of that area, where the table's going around, is a little platform. I say little. It's a platform with a mound of betting tokens on it. Most of them are the same kind of tungsten-y, lead-y coloured ones that you have been given. However, there are several golden ones as well that appear to also act as a pedestal holding a miniature of different starships on it, most of which you don't recognize the design of.
Is there a Daedalus one?
No. You can't spot any Federation designs from
right.
Are you sure? I won't recognize these.
You can roll, because you've got that focus.
Oh.
So, if you want to roll, I would say either engineering or con plus insight.
Okay.
Main bridge doors, you mean the turbolift, if you mean the Pathos VGR.
And so engineering or con plus insight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In terms of momentum, we're currently at 2.
Nice, so it is still accurate.
Yeah, because it's basically a continuous scene that's just continuing now.
Right.
Yeah.
Since the spaceships.
1.
1.
Right.
Okay.
Since
Oh, I am really unlucky, and
it's better than
I
0.
should stop playing these games.
No, you're good at Star Trek Adventures. Don't stop.
Yeah, but yeah. Since they are spaceships, I hardly think ground vehicles focus would apply. So
No.
we'll just roll normally.
Do you also have the Starship Recognition token? Not token, focus.
Can I only roll if I have that?
Yeah, this is just glancing over. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind that then.
Yeah.
Never mind that critical
Yeah, please
failure.
don't mind that.
Yeah, that didn't happen, basically.
Good. Okay, let's just forget that.
Got 1 anyway.
Okay,
Oh, that 19 was horrifying.
so in your quick glance over, you see. Okay. Most of the ships you still don't recognize, but you do recognize a few of them.
Damn it, I was hoping to get some momentum over.
One of them looks like a Romulan small craft of some description. Originally you didn't recognize it, but then the telltale sign are the design of the warp nacelles. The models are quite accurate. Then there is a couple of civilian transport ships, and let's see, what's the 4th one? Hold on, one moment. If only my scroll wheel worked properly. So
A Galaxy class.
no.
Okay.
There we are. Okay. The 4th one appears to be a Tellarite freighter.
Interesting.
I think interesting.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Although the design of that Romulan small craft, that was interesting.
Does it look like the one from that moon? That
No,
was
no.
crashed there.
The one that it wasn't crashed, it was landed,
Oh, yeah.
and that was just a lander. This small craft has warp nacelles. It's a warp capable ship, thus it qualifies to be set as collateral.
Right.
So
There's nothing interesting I'm going to do a better token with, so let's just go.
okay, so as you continue, Doviah,
Not true.
as you're walking
Yes.
over, you see that a little bit out of the way there are 2 people who seem to be having an argument. would you like to try to listen in a little bit, or do you just want to ignore it? Or would you like to introduce yourself and see if you can help? Listen?
Yeah, listen for now, listen just.
Okay.
I'm not going to introduce myself right then and there. Just going to listen for now.
Right. So, I'm not even going to make a roll for it. There's plenty of people here. You can find a place to listen without issue. So, it appears to be that one of them appears to be station staff. The other one, you don't know, just someone. And there appears to be a complaint about some sort of drug, some sort of medical stuff that was apparently won by this individual. And it seems like this particular substance has lost a lot of value on the market recently. And he wants to trade it in for something else that has the value of when he got the token. But the station guy doesn't want to let him, and it seems like the situation might escalate.
Right.
Would you like to intervene or just ignore it?
One moment.
Thanks for a reminder. We don't exactly have authority here, do we?
Nope.
Nope.
That's the thing.
Not even a little.
So why intervene? We get the captain and his crew and get out of here.
Okay. So, as you walk forwards, I'm going to need to roll to see if they do notice you.
Oh no, they might notice we exist.
They do notice you exist.
Oh no!
Wow.
Good. We don't have authority here.
Mm-hmm.
We just got us to do.
So, the guy with a complaint goes over and says, "Hey, you! Starfleet, back there!" He's walking over to approaching you.
Approaching who?
You as a group.
Right.
Comes over and says, "Your scientists, they're ruining the market. What could we have done? Our trade is being ruined by your advances. One day, we buy tons of this substance. The next day, it's worthless. You're ruining our livelihood."
We are here on official Starfleet business. If there is not an emergency, we must be on our way.
We really do not have the authority here in this case.
The guy tries to continue to argue. However, the station security show up and kind of pull him back a bit. And yeah. Okay, so you're clear to continue if you want. Would you like to?
Yep.
Okay, so you manage to get
Mhm.
over to the turbolifts that go down. You enter. These are significantly less fancy than the ones you took up to the offices. Take them down a couple levels, and doors open. You are now in a much more industrial-looking part of the station. Still well lit, but not as clean, no carpets. People working. You hear machinery in the background.
So what deck is this, sorry?
This is one of the lower decks.
Right.
You walk along the corridor, you get into a larger room. It looks like there's an area of what looks like scrap metal, maybe some parts. There are multiple different workshops, like just out in this large space. Parts look like, some of them look like they're repairing things. Others it look like the metals are being smelted down and separated into separate ingots, and there are lots of people around. You don't immediately see anyone in a Starfleet uniform.
Well, I would honestly be surprised if they were still wearing Starfleet uniforms at this point.
Maybe if they won it somewhere.
He even lost the clothes on his back.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
Anyway, look for someone who seems to be in charge. Someone, I don't know, like some kind of management staff.
You see there's a little platform on the back. It looks a bit, funnily enough, it looks a bit like a DJ station, like with the console things, but it's clearly some sort of overseer.
Lovely.
Right.
Let's go.
Okay.
Talk.
Alright. The trio, well technically quadro? The quadro, because...
Quartet.
Quartet? Quartet.
Yes.
Yes. Don't use that word much. The quartet approach.
Duo, trio, quartet.
Yeah. You approach and kind of crosses his arms as you get closer and waits for you to speak.
Right. So,
I am Captain Shiun of Starfleet. I am seeking Lieutenant Joshua Kirby. I believe he is working here.
Let me check the register. Goes over to a little other area, presses what looks like an intercom on the wall, and very quietly says stuff which only Shiun can hear because of her superior auditory senses. He's basically asking if you are legit, and he gets the clear that yes, you are actually Starfleet in here, and so on. Then he walks over to his console, pushes some buttons.
No, I decided to put them on just for fun.
And there is a paper readout. Comes out, tears it off, says, yes, he's working in ore processing. Down that corridor, turn left. You won't be causing trouble, will you?
no.
No.
Good. Okay.
Follow the directions.
Sure.
Thank you for your guidance.
You follow the directions to a less busy area, a significantly warmer area. Turn a corner, enter a room, and yeah, there's just a hopper full of what looks like raw ores with machinery feeding it into a smeltery where indeed you can see a couple people working there, one of whom is wearing quite a torn and oily Starfleet uniform.
Well, how the mighty have fallen.
They don't seem to have noticed you yet, because it's quite loud in this room.
What's causing the noise?
Right.
The machinery of the refining process. The fire
I
was.
get close enough
Nerve
that
pinch.
I might reasonably... No. Get close enough that we might reasonably be heard. And just say, Lieutenant Joshua Kirby.
He turns around, says, Starfleet, you received my message.
We received a message, though it was not particularly enlightening.
Yeah. Let's talk. I need to finish my shift. I should be done in about half an hour. Also, while you're here, don't bet. Just
We
a word
are
of
aware
warning.
of the
I was
circumstances.
not intending to. But thank you.
And he turns back to his work.
All right.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to stand around here for half an hour? I mean, not that long to wait.
Just wait at the entrance to the area. Just so we're not like right next to the loud machinery waiting for him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you wait for about half an hour. To be precise, 29 minutes and 42 seconds. And
Good.
he comes out, approaches you, says, "We can talk in that room down there at the storage bay." Do you follow him?
If he's not here to
Yep.
collect these men and get out of here,
Okay.
we're just gonna leave him here.
You get to the storage bay. Yes. There's quite a bit of really good looking machinery, like ship parts, components. You recognize some impulse manifolds and something that looks suspiciously like a Romulan cloak. Just sitting there. Just the
Are you trying to tempt me?
Hello, the Also Chris. Welcome.
Hello.
It is good to see you again.
It has been a
It's
while.
yeah, it has been a while. So, go over. What would you like to say / do?
Would you care to explain the error in judgment which led to your ship being taken as collateral?
Well, what ship are you here on? What class?
Constitution.
Why are you asking?
Oh, good. You've brought a big ship.
But I agree with Captain's question.
Oh.
I'm assuming you got my code.
Did we?
Starfleet certainly did not interpret it as a code. However, we did have a run-in. Well, we tracked down your ship and got the information from them where they got it. So here we are.
Wait. What is the exact message you received?
Gotta skim through what you sent me.
Eliza raises her Desert Eagle and says, "We ain't betting no ship, capiche?"
Right. The message, as it was given to me, was that you lost the ship due to an unexpected critical systems failure, and that you and your crew would be making your way home via civilian transport.
That's it?
That is it.
They cut it off. There was a second part to that transmission.
Why did I know it's not going to be a simple collect him
So
and
can
go?
I, at this point, take a look if there are any, any, I don't know,
Guards?
if we can be listened in on, basically, if there's like any
Yeah, sure.
microphones.
Go ahead. So this is going to be
Sure.
engineering plus reason with a difficulty of 2.
Right,
And
We've still got 2 more minutes.
Severu can assist you.
great. I won't buy any dice then, that's fine. Communication range 1.
Yep.
Okay, now the focus is apply, that's fine. Just gonna roll 2.
2. Okay. You detect no listening devices here.
Alright.
So,
Sure.
he says,
Just please elaborate.
the second part of my transmission was we lost the ship at Fairhouse Station. It was all by the book. They must have cut it off.
Clearly.
You
Well,
can't just leave, right? Can't even
now
up
we're
and leave.
here.
Good. Captain. How much contact have you had yet with the goings-on on the station?
We spoke to Miss Jean, who explained the reason for your ship being taken. And then we came directly to you.
Right. I suppose I should start from the beginning.
That would be appreciated.
When you've only got a crew of 20, you have to rely on outside trade for restocking, resupply, things like that. We build relationships with certain individual, independent traders. Well, we got a lead that one of our longtime friends had been conned out of everything here at this station. This is a man who had saved our lives before. We came here to investigate, and at first everything seemed very legitimate. Have you heard of their game, Star Tally? Their flagship
We
game.
saw an advertisement.
Yes.
Well,
That is all.
it's quite unique in that the house doesn't have an advantage over the customers. It's played with dice.
Advantage.
It's played with dice, and the chances of winning or losing is statistically the same. It is a completely fair game, and yet this is the game by which most of the people here make losses. We figured they have to be cheating.
Yeah.
So we came down here, we watched, got statistics. We had to start betting some of our resources so that we could collect enough data to form a pattern to see if they are actually cheating. Now that's not when we lost the ship. And yes, they are. They have to be cheating. The bigger the prize that's on the line, the more likely it is that the house will win. There's a direct correlation. We observed hundreds of games. Now, I know that Starfleet doesn't have jurisdiction here per se, but if they're cheating, then we could cause a lot of trouble for them if we blew the whistle, if we made this public, if we caught them out.
And if we had the proof to back it up.
Yeah, of course. We could figure out, if we could only figure out how they're doing it. But, of course, our almost 2 century, sorry, retcon, our almost 1 century old ship wouldn't stand a chance. We had to get some Starfleet support over here. The only way we could do that without them tipping it off is by getting you here. My first officer recommended to get us into this position to make it seem like we're no threat, to get a message out to Starfleet informing them we've lost the ship, that things have gone by the book, to get some support down here. Because you know that Starfleet Command wouldn't have sent anyone if we just asked for help.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did.
Right.
So it's not just
Right.
you that's stupid. Your first officer as well. Great.
You learn to do things differently if you're out here as long as we've been.
Let me make sure I am understanding this perfectly clearly. You sacrificed a Federation starship to potentially damage the reputation of a gambling station well outside of our jurisdiction.
The Translucent would have been decommissioned next month anyway. It wasn't much of a loss. And so many good people, so many of our friends, people who've saved our lives, who helped us when we were really looking worse.
But we can't do anything.
We had to at least try to help. I grant
So-
you, it is an unconventional tactic, but that's what you've got to do when you're out here.
So basically, you decide, few people on the hard times, play the White Knight hero.
I struggle to see the logic in your decision making.
What should we have done? How could we have gotten Starfleet support out here to help deal with this?
But it's out of Starfleet jurisdiction.
It is also, in the grand scheme of space, a relatively minor issue.
In the grand scheme,
It is
yes.
a gambling station. People should expect losses. And what people risk is up to them.
You're not aware of the extent of this. The entire sector, all of the repair docks, trading posts, have been bought up by this station and dismantled. They've got a monopoly on the sector. And you know how long the average servicing of a ship takes? Days, sometimes weeks. In that time, they've got to stay here. When they stay here, they've got to bet. People who live in this sector have no choice.
And so, in other words, the White Knight hero, yes, see the word, risking the bigger picture. Starfleet can't save everything.
Starfleet can't. But we can save these people. We can if we expose If we damage these people's reputation.
Obviously, everyone in this sector would already know about it. So, to whom are we supposed to expose this? Who has the authority to do anything?
The Romulans.
That is a possibility.
I overheard.
If there's evidence.
I overheard that they've got a deal going with them. I'm not sure what the details are of it. Some sort of discount. I don't know. I could have misheard. Definitely some sort of deal. If we expose these people to the Romulans, damage their reputation enough, if they lose Romulan support, we could make a real difference to the people's lives here.
Let me check a note.
Right, go ahead. Is that a reference? I don't. The last thing. I don't get that reference.
I don't get it because I haven't got the stream up.
It says, no offense, but I bet Captain will be like Dallas. Ugh, I need a medic bag. Ugh, I'm dying. Somebody drop a medic bag.
I don't get it either.
I don't know. Mentioned Dallas above as well, but I'm still not sure, unfortunately. That's the link.
Can't click on that because
yes,
it's audio being recorded.
It's from Payday 2, apparently, a game.
Oh right, you did
That's-
mention Payday 2 above.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure if it still was referring to that.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Well,
Me.
apparently that's that then.
Um.
Right.
Hmm.
Alright.
Um. So.
How much evidence do you have at your disposal now?
I've only got the statistics. I can't figure out how they're cheating. I've not been able to go back into the casino after I lost all my betting tokens. But if we can figure out how they're doing it, that would have to be enough. I couldn't see anyone not acknowledging it then.
Ready? I just. Ugh. You do realize if we go through all this and we lose our ship, we're back to square one again.
You've got actual scientific equipment on board. All we had were outdated tricorders that barely worked, our ship's long-range sensors that were like using a magnifying glass to look at a mountain. But you've actually got state-of-the-art equipment. I know the Constitution classes. I worked on one when I was an ensign. Eliza asks if we're gonna rob them for all the money or not. Because you know the
No.
drill.
Well, we've always met their ship. The imaginary ship.
We have the equipment that might reveal it, but the farther we are from the area, the harder it is to discern anything, and the closer we are, the more likely it is that we are going to attract attention from security.
And if we're wrong too many times, we'll lose our ship.
You can stop. You can stop.
We
before
are
them.
not submitting collateral we do not own. It is unreasonable.
Totally. Yeah.
Yes. So.
But I suppose there is
Huh.
there is if there was someone here at the station who was capable of utilizing the equipment and willing to figure this out themselves, we could supply a few tokens that we received free of charge and some technology. However, I do not know who we could trust to perform such a task.
Well, none of us down here are allowed in the casino space at all.
As
Plus-
expected,
Plus, we would be recognized.
naturally.
Right. Right.
At this point, Severu is going
Right.
to make a roll to see. Where is he? Maxwell Severu. Here we go. Reason plus engineering.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sure.
That's nice.
So says, Captain, what if we had a less valuable warp capable ship to put up as collateral?
Of what form?
Well, are there any rules about it actually having to work or sustain warp drive, or does it count if it's only theoretical? Looking over at him, and he just shrugs. He has no idea. No, I'm not looking at you, Eliza. Don't worry, I'm not. He's not. He's not wanting to bet your yacht.
Hey, the yacht's gonna definitely get hit. The yacht is gone.
Says, well, you know how our torpedoes have warp sustainment drives?
Yes.
I might be able to jury-rig something with one of our shuttles. Now, it would only be able to go to warp for a fraction of a second before burning out the energy supply. But if we're working on a technicality level, might be enough.
But what if it isn't?
I don't know, I'm just spitballing ideas here.
Right. Right.
Can't we just
If they will allow it as collateral. That still leaves one more risk, which is that whoever is volunteering to perform these scans to determine how they are cheating.
Wisdom to the rescue!
If they are caught, then we cannot leave without them. If we cannot leave without them, we have no idea how long they might be held for. If they are held for more than probably 10 hours now, we cannot leave without betting.
Yes. You...
No. Severu says... Severu says... it's because I've got Westaker's sheet up.
Yeah.
It says... I suppose I could jury-rig 2 shuttles? So we have something to fall back on if we do need to submit another ship as collateral. If it works, even. Can't promise anything.
Yes, we can't take all the shuttles just for collateral.
Yes, we can't.
And how long would it take?
I could probably have it done in about a day.
Right.
Cannot remain for a day.
At this point, Kirby says, but you don't have to. You can just leave and then come back. Please, if this is a chance that this will actually work, please, you have to take it. The very foundations, the very principles of the Federation are at stake here.
Not really.
He looks over at you and says, they are the way I see them.
Very well. We will leave. We will...
Come back.
We will see what we can do with the shuttles. If we succeed, and it seems that your plan might actually have merit, then we shall follow it. Otherwise, when we return, you will be expected to join our ship and leave. Along with the rest of your crew.
He thinks for a moment.
Right.
Then he says, sure.
Wow.
Very well. Then we shall see you in a day or so.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Then you hear a bell ringing. Oh, the next shift started. In typical Star Trek timing. Yeah, and he says, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
All right.
Okay. So he
Let's leave then.
goes off to work, leaving you four alone. With some really quite shiny looking tech.
Oh. What now? No.
Now we go back to the ship.
Yep. Let's do that.
Okay. I'm assuming you're going to go through the normal transporter pad. That's easy.
Yeah, we're not just
Okay.
emergency transport.
So
No.
you make your way back up to the casino area. As you're walking out, you can see that there is kind of a side room, station security, with a window that has like a wire mesh in the glass, like a reinforced glass window. You can see the guy who was making trouble earlier being either questioned or interrogated. You're not quite sure. But as you pass out of this area, the two
Just give a little wave to no.
the two
Probably not.
the two who had spoken to you before about ships and things, about things that you might want to bet, go over and says, "Have you enjoyed your stay?"
It has been
Eventful.
educational.
And that.
Do you have tokens you would like to... Thinks for a moment. Hand in.
I do believe there's the option of keeping them and exchanging later.
Yes, of course.
Then it seems we will remain in the sector for a while longer. We may stop by once more before departing.
Very well.
Yes.
Please. Thinks for a moment. Have a pleasant stay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, you go back to the transporter pad, you dematerialize, rematerialize on the Pathos, and you're back home. Zivaru is ready to just get to work straight away. What do the players do?
All right. The first thing I would like to do is to get a little further from this station, since we have a lot of time.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
And once we are in a range where it doesn't seem like communications are going to get intercepted, I would like to send a message to our new Romulan friends, basically explaining everything that we have been told and asking if evidence of this would be sufficient to potentially raise Romulan concerns, or if it would not bother them at all.
Okay, so you don't know exactly where the Warbird sealer is. However, you can send a message just at Romulan space and hope that it finds its way there. Or you can send a message to the area of the previous mission in the hopes that they're still in that system. Which, given that they want to set up stuff there, might be like the likeliest option.
Okay. in that case, about how long would it take for messages to be exchanged in this area, in that distance?
Well, should probably hear back within the hour.
Right. Then for my first message, I'd like to basically send a ping. Hey, Sela, you there?
Okay. So, get to the bridge. You get in touch with station, inform that you want to undock. They, strangely enough, keep you on the line, like waiting for the response for a good few minutes before they acknowledge it. The docking clamps are released, and those rib-like arms that were around the Pathos open up, allowing the ship to
now-
depart.
Bloody time.
So you get out of range.
With her impulse drives? Yes.
Do you send the transmission probably? Yes. Doviah?
Just the basic.
Mhm.
Yeah, once
Yeah.
we're in the area, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need you
Once
to.
we actually know where they are, then we can direct more specifically, so it's less likely that some random person's going to get our message.
Yeah. So, I'm going to need you to roll. So this is going to be engineering plus, I would say, either reason or control.
Sounds like a Doviah.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And subspace communications, if you have that
Oh,
focus,
yes.
would apply.
It would. Great.
I'm going to set the difficulty at 1, but increase the complication range to 3.
Okay, so it's reason plus engineering? Oh, no, what is it? What is it?
You
The
can
discipline.
do reason plus engineering or control plus engineering, I would say.
It doesn't matter either way, so that's fine. Just going to control. Why not? And
Remember the increased
Do we
complication
What's the
have-
difficulty
range.
again?
1.
but the complication range is 3,
Yes.
so do
The
we
ship
have
the ship will
momentum?
assist. The ship will assist, by the way.
That's good. Do we have momentum still on that?
We have got 1. Because 1 evaporated when you went back to the ship.
Mhm.
Do you have any talents that would let you re-roll dice if you had the extra
Hmm.
from momentum?
Untapped potential? I'm not sure what.
No, that can give you bonus
No.
momentum.
Cautious engineering.
Yes.
That would be it.
Okay,
That would be the one.
great.
Okay. So
Why
that
doesn't anyone
means
take the bold ones?
because we don't want to spend threat.
So, if you only got 1 momentum, which will evaporate anyway when the scene changes, which, given that
Yes.
we're doing a time skip, is probably going to evaporate.
Okay.
It will evaporate.
So, hello, Yuli's head in the other camera.
So,
Hello.
yes. Do you want to
Yeah.
spend this momentum on this roll or on Zeveru's roll?
We don't know how difficult the other one is. Or, like, what difficulty would Severus roll be?
Probably harder than this.
Then. Should I just have the 2 dice then? Plus the
Although,
ship's assist?
I will allow Nero to assist Zeveru, if Nero chooses to. Because Nero does have some quite technical experience as well.
If that's the case. so-
Honestly, I'd say just roll.
without using the momentum. Okay. Sure, 2 dice. Complication range 3 plus the ship's assist. Focus used, yes. Here we go. Well, That's not ideal.
Okay.
So the ship
So-
doesn't assist.
We'll resolve that. Yes, we are. Yes. So you spend not insignificant amount of time trying to locate where this ship is by sending message, waiting for response. You get no response. You're not quite sure where it is. Now you can still try to get in contact. If you maybe send a message on a non-Starfleet frequency, if you try to mimic maybe a independent trader or something, requesting to be directed through to that ship, you might be able to do that, but that could raise suspicions.
That's
But-
tricky.
While you are busy doing that, it's time for Severu. Rogue, are you here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to assist Severu down in the shuttle bay?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So, if the captain allows it, you will make your way down there.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So you make your way down there. Severu is going to do the first roll. You can assist. So
Yeah, give me a sec. Mm-hmm.
there's
Ugh.
going to be complication range 1, but a difficulty of 3. And he's
Okay.
going to use his engineering plus reason, which is a 16. He does also use a focus because he's got warp engines as a focus, and he has got cautious engineering and bold engineering.
Don't tell if I'm going to be out of 13.
You might be able to use other combinations of attributes and disciplines. You don't have to use the same as the one who's doing the main role.
Daring?
What are your focuses?
It's not exactly. Small craft,
Okay, that applies.
passive
Anyway.
recognition. What does?
Small craft applies anyway.
Ah.
I can see daring working here. Sure. You're handling antimatter. Good time to be daring.
This is
Hello?
So, what do you want? Do you want Severu to buy a die with that momentum? I'm assuming yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then he's just gonna roll.
What? No, I said yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
I was a little far away from the microphone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then yes, he's gonna roll with that. So 3 dice.
Why?
Good thing you bought that thing.
But why?
19, 20, 14.
The one
Can
time it
re-roll anyway.
matters.
Well,
we can
luckily,
re-roll.
he's gonna re-roll that one. That 0.
Yeah.
Not the one.
I meant he's gonna re-roll
Yes,
the 1 die.
I know, but
So-
still.
Let's see if this is better.
Oh,
No, it's not better.
why?
Well, you can assist.
Oh.
Can the ship assist?
No.
Oh.
There we
There you
go. Okay.
Good.
Okay. Sure.
Also, hello, Order
No,
of
it's not
Chaos.
good.
Order of Chaos, welcome.
Ah.
So, I'm going to turn that into threat.
Good. Alright.
Now,
Uh,
I am going to allow you to succeed at a cost. So if you accept a complication, an additional complication, the task will still succeed. Do you want that, or do you not want that?
Depends on the complication.
Be perfectly honest, I just don't think it's that important. Like, realistically speaking, if it wasn't going well, I think the captain would just be like, okay, guess we're picking up some crewmen, getting out of here.
Yeah. I can see that.
But it's not an in-character choice.
It would be an in-character choice. Shiun still thinks that their rationale is illogical.
No, I mean
And,
whether
Shiun-
I mean whether this whether you accept a complication or not can't be an in-character choice, because you don't know in character. You obviously don't know what will happen, so that kind of has to be a player choice. At least I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a player, I don't think it's that important.
Okay.
Alright.
What about the rest of you?
Like, sorry,
Mm.
I just don't.
Yeah, I think if we had another complication, it really wouldn't be that good. So,
Okay.
I think we've got enough complications as it is.
No, that's fine. So,
Okay.
while they're busy doing that, they've got that 1 day time limit that he said. You're busy working on it. And meanwhile, on the bridge, a few hours have passed, and you haven't heard back from the warbird. What do you want to do? While they're still busy trying to get it to work.
Try contacting it again, perhaps? I don't know.
You've already attempted that task. You didn't succeed.
Okay.
You can try to do something else. I mean, yeah.
Oh man, I'm not seen away. Okay. I know what I would do.
What?
Wind up time. Then get the crew, captain, we're done with it. And send them to Starfleet so they can deal with them
Right.
in court.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's the only Romulan ship we know of that's in the area, right?
That's the only Romulan ship
It's the
you
only one we know
that
of
might
that
help you.
would listen to us.
Mm-hmm. That makes
So-
sense. So
I guess we
suppose-
can do the whole try to say we're contacting us civilians thing.
I
See if
mean-
we can get directions, essentially.
Okay, sure. That is still another option. So yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So in this case, going to say engineering plus control. I'm going to set the difficulty. I'm going to say keep the difficulty at 1 and a complication range of 3. Again, it's a bit the same roll. And the ship will assist.
Mm-hmm.
It's your roll.
Who?
You.
Oh, sorry.
You!
So what's the role? Sorry. Of course it's me.
Engineering
Yes.
plus control.
Engineering plus control. It's already selected. Okay.
Well, it's the same roll as before. With a.
So
yeah.
complication 3 still.
Yep.
Focus used. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Momentum. We don't have any, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's roll. That's our mistake. There we are. 2.
Ah, okay.
Successes.
Which means we've got 1 momentum.
That's better.
Who wants to roll for the ship?
I haven't rolled yet.
Okay,
So-
go ahead. No, don't roll 20. A 20 is a critical failure in this. It's a complication. Roll a 1.
Oh, you meant the software. Oh, yeah, that is called Roll20.
Comms engineering.
Yep.
Okay.
Ah,
Ah, look at that.
2. Okay.
776.
Interesting. Actually, it's 6776.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh god, I got 6.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I didn't look at that.
after maybe another hour and a half, 2 to 2 hours, eventually, the warbird sealer sends you a message giving you their coordinates and informing you that they are waiting to receive the message from you.
Okay.
All right. Then I send the original message.
That's good.
Okay, good. That gets sent. After another period of time, about another hour, you get a message that they are on their way.
Okay.
So, things aren't going well in the shuttle bay. It looks like Severo's idea of rigging a makeshift warp core out of the
Torpedo?
the warp sustainment drives from the
Yeah.
torpedoes is a bit more complicated.
It works in theory,
It does work in
But-
theory,
but it doesn't seem to be working
In practice.
in there.
yeah, you're not quite sure what the issue is. You think that if you maybe had another day to work on this, you'd probably be able to figure it out. But
Ugh.
the deadline rolls around, and I'm expecting that Shiun will want a on-time report.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to give the report, or do you want Severo to do it?
Well, if I get the report, it ain't gonna be good. I'm sure Zero knows that,
Okay. In that case,
because I'm not exactly, to just say, quiet about my opinions.
mm-hmm. In that case, Zeveru is gonna give the report. And so we get comms, the bridge, main
Right.
engineering, and says, Captain, this is Zeveru from the shuttle bay. We need more time, Captain. I'm sure that this will work, we just gotta iron out some bugs first. We've connected it all, but our simulations show that if we did try to actually go to warp, we'd essentially set off an antimatter bomb. I'm confident if we've got like one more day, we can figure it out. The answer's probably staring us in the face.
From the coordinates that we have from the Warbird, how long would it take for them to get to our location, approximately?
Well, they were on a roughly parallel course with you apparently for a while there. So if their speeds are comparable to the Pathos, between maybe 8 and 12 hours, maybe? If they're going at cruising speed. If they're going at emergency speeds, probably a lot sooner. But you got a text message. You don't know how quickly they want to get here.
I wouldn't expect it to be treated as an emergency. Considering we're investigating a thing.
Yeah.
So so is that from the time of the report or from the time that we got the message?
That would have been from the time that you got the message. So let's say that the report, with how long you tried before, let's say maybe between 4 and 8 hours.
Yeah. We have received word that the Sela is approaching our location. They should be here, estimated, 4 to 8 hours from now. You have until they arrive.
God damn it.
Thank you, Captain.
Failed again.
Okay, so he
I think
turns
I got it
around, looks at Nero and says, "You heard what the captain said? Come on, we better get to work, quickly."
Ah.
Okay, so you continue to work on this, get a roll again. Since you've already done a lot of work, I'm going to set the difficulty to 2 with a complication range of 1. You can assist again. And we've got 2 momentum.
Alright, we did get momentum, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Zeveru can have the momentum.
1 momentum. Aww.
Hopefully it actually does something this time.
I mean, it did do something last time as well. It was the only thing that did anything positive.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
Focus used. And actually he's going to use... yeah, he's going to use stick with daring. Reason, sorry.
Okay. Ah, look at that! What a great
Wow.
roll.
Okay.
Good thing we bought that die.
Okay. So, great. So
Okay.
At least
Lovely.
I'm consistent. Another 6.
we're now at 4 momentum.
I got another 6. I
So
screw it up this time.
Zeveru is working. He's basically overclocking himself. You reckon that it's more than just wanting to get this done. You think it's a matter of pride for him. And that apparently does a lot towards pushing him.
Nice.
You really, really want to prove me wrong, don't you?
He just says, "Can you pass me this panna?" So,
Dunk on the head.
so, you manage to finish, and all your diagnostic equipment is telling you that it will actually give you a fraction of a second of warp on both shuttles. Zeveru is exhausted, and he just says, "Everything's done, all done." He drops his tools on the
really
floor.
are an idiot.
Drops his tools on the floor. Says, "I've got to lay down for a while."
No kidding.
And he walks out of the shuttle bay, leaving you with the joyous task of reporting back to the captain.
I just walked to the
Intercom.
You walk to the
Alright.
bridge. Sure. You arrive on the bridge.
Captain, it's done.
Very well.
So overclocked himself, but it's done.
Also, I will send someone to collect his betting token.
Right.
Doviah, you're on that. Okay.
I mean,
So, sure. That happens. Does anyone want to do anything else before the warbird arrives?
I don't think so.
So what's the plan on this gambling thing? Because my guess is we only have 6 goes.
Six what, sorry? Out of character?
Goes.
Goes, yeah.
We have 4 betting tokens, and then we have
Those two.
two.
2 ships to
If they accept
Yeah.
them.
collateral.
If they accept them.
If they accept them.
Yeah.
Oh, and you probably need this.
What is Zeveru's token, by the way?
Zeveru's token is a Fairhouse brand universal cargo container. He didn't get something interesting. He
Yeah.
just got a thing.
Right. Right.
Ugh,
So sure.
where's those shuttles? But yes, we got 6 goes. That's if they don't rig it till we win.
Yeah.
Then carry on and carry on and carry
Yeah,
on.
I mean then
What we need is to get close, not to be betting at the table necessarily.
Shiun really doesn't want to bet at the table,
No.
which
I
makes
don't want
sense.
to bet at the
Yeah,
table.
I
think it's a
mean-
waste of bloody time.
I can't really see that happening either.
In your shoes, I wouldn't want to
However,
bet at the
of
table either.
course, in order to get close to the table, someone must express an interest in participating. So, we will likely need to at least bet one token.
Right.
But it is... We can always bet the... looks at the tokens... cargo container.
Perfect.
Yes, that seems
Oh,
reasonable,
perfect.
Captain.
I would prefer to get the dice rather than use the token, but there you go.
What?
What?
The
No.
dice.
No, if
The
you bet
cargo.
if you bet the cargo container,
We
then
might not need
you
to.
might not need
Yeah.
to.
I said the dice, looking
Yeah.
at my token.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I chose the cargo container instead, even though the dice are realistically the least valuable thing on there.
Yeah.
But if we don't get scan data at the table, there is a small chance, very tiny, minuscule chance, that whatever is going on is built into the dice.
Yes. So
The
basically,
most minuscule of
yeah, it's just-
chances.
Yes, and Neo just gives
What
his
are-
token to the captain.
Because what are the odds that they would leave their secrets inside dice that they just sell in their gift shop?
I mean, it's a good place to hide it. You wouldn't think to look there.
Unless anyone who gets the dice decides to scan them at any time, or just scan a room that has them in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah. So,
So yeah, Neo just gives his token to the captain.
Captain collects all tokens.
Yes.
Damn it.
Is that
Oh well.
is that a rule on the ship? Like, when it comes to betting, the captain gets all the tokens.
When no one is permitted to bet, except for this one very specific circumstance, yes.
I wanted to get the dice, but oh well.
All right.
Okay, sure. You've got the 4 tokens. They've got like a little rim so that they can nicely stack without sliding off of each other, like plane chips.
Yeah.
Quite well made,
So
these
while-
tokens.
With the gravity. What's that? The thing I got. The
The
gravity hull
Starfleet,
plating?
the Starfleet gravity plating,
Gravity
not
plating.
hull plating. The gravity
Yeah.
plating is between the decks, so in the floor of the
Right.
decks that keep gravity.
So while I'm giving it to the captain, I would make a remark on the thing I got. So I would say, I don't know how they even got this stuff, but sure. And I hand it.
Whatever we do not have to gamble in order to maintain the pretense of interest will be traded in.
Right.
But
All right.
and so the captain then pulls the bridge. Does anyone here have any interest or experience in gambling?
About 3 people just turn back to their consoles.
Probably for the best, but also
You could make a shipwide announcement.
No, that would be West.
I
It could
would
be West-
prefer senior staff or bridge staff to do it, as they would be
Yeah.
more reliable, as there does need to be an actual pretense
Yes.
made.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to do it.
Doviah,
Yes, Captain?
I believe I recall in a previous report that you did an admirable job of creating a distraction.
I mean, you were the one who wanted the theatrics.
Yeah?
Oh, I love it. I'm so glad
Yes.
you did do
Yes,
the
Captain,
because you
that
would
is-
just go, nope.
Yes, Captain, that is correct.
Very well. She hands the tokens back to you. Then it will be your job to
Ah.
play the table.
Alright.
So,
I'm kind of so glad I'm not doing it.
there will need to be one other person nearby to take scans who can do so without being noticed.
No volunteers.
Could I... Okay.
Actually,
Not sure. I'm not
West Acre.
In fact, in this time period,
Yeah.
how does one surreptitiously scan?
Well, basically, you just kind of turn your back slightly and then just glance down occasionally. That's how they do it in the show, anyway.
So...
West Acre says,
Sure.
I believe Officer Gwissom has experience in that field.
I was about to suggest him.
Wisdom, the one who scans.
He has scanned... I
So,
believe he has scanned quite a lot in the past.
is Westaker volunteering for guard duty?
Says, Captain, it might be suspicious if 3 of us were there.
Indeed.
He doesn't want to go yet.
No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. Just be glad he didn't suggest you for the job.
I can't scan to save my life. I fly.
Very well. Doviah, it will be your responsibility to gamble as much as is necessary until Gwissom confirms that they have received the necessary data. I will leave it to your judgment to determine what you bet when, but
Right.
presumably start small, and I believe the most logical rule in gambling is to spend what you win, I believe is the precaution.
I believe I've heard that as well.
So,
Thank you, sir.
if you
Technically
can
not
make-
supposed to.
If you can make a small victory, you can start to build from that. However, I do believe we need to call Gwissom
Yes. Thank you, Captain.
and
Guys,
arrange
everything-
for perhaps both of you to be wearing casual attire.
Yes.
Perhaps something that would make the tricorder stand out a bit less.
Perhaps something that would make the tricorder stand out a bit less.
Yes, Captain.
At this point, Westaker says, if it might be a good idea to allow certain trusted officers shore leave on board the station. It would make for a better disguise.
Better, yes.
Yes.
Like we have to
And
tell them
after
not
all-
to bet anything.
If we do not stay for a long time, and I do not see that we would, there's really nothing to worry about.
Yes. Very well.
I,
We
of course,
shall
will remain on the
gather-
ship.
Yes.
Doesn't
We
wanna get
shall gather perhaps half a dozen crewmen who are very carefully instructed in the precautions which must be made while they are aboard the station. And we shall have warnings given when certain amounts of time have passed to ensure everyone is being reasonable.
I will gladly take charge of that, Captain.
Very well.
Okay, so
Yes.
after another bit of time passes, not that much, a bit of time. Doviah, how are you spending the time you have now?
Looking for casual attire.
You managed to find some from the tailor. Yes, you do actually have a ship's tailor.
Yes.
Yes.
So. Sure.
Oh, and one more thing.
Probably. Yes.
Obviously, step one when you get onto the station is see if our collateral is accepted.
Yes, because if it's not, well then just,
Then we're just leaving.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just leave. Why? Just why?
That's a good thing. Also, the time I also said that's the first thing I do, and then I'd also probably research gambling.
Okay. You stumble upon an area of fiction that seems to deal a lot with gambling and gangs and gangsters and casinos and a place called Las Vegas.
Huh.
Like somewhere out in the desert. It reminds you of some of the planets that you visited quite a few years ago. You kind of get stuck in that for a little while, but you managed to get a good,
Chunk of knowledge.
Yeah. So
That's good.
at some point,
Okay.
while you're busy doing that, whoever is at comms now says, Captain, we're receiving visual from just starboard of us. Sensors don't indicate that there's anything there.
It is most likely the Sela.
On screen?
Yes.
Right. Press some buttons. On screen comes the commander's face. I forgot her name, one moment. Venera. There we go. Commander Venera.
Ah, yes.
Commander Venera's face comes on screen with typical golden chainmail and kind of a fabric strap going across the side. Says, "It is unexpected to see the Pathos again so soon."
I similarly did not expect to contact you so soon.
Would you be willing to come on board the Sealer to discuss this matter face to face?
Very well. I and my crew who have been working on the project will meet you shortly.
Very well. We will decloak to make transport possible. The comms cuts. And
So,
just
Shiun.
starboard, so just to the right, materializes the warbird. Well,
Shiun,
decloaks anyway.
Doviah, Nero, we're gonna let Zveru rest. Gwissem and Westacre.
Okay.
Okay.
So from this point forwards, I will specify who I'm talking as.
No, that doesn't work like that.
If it is, if I am so.
No, you can't have both characters
Okay.
active like that.
That makes sense. Okay, so he's
So,
just an NPC, sure.
Yeah. So, is there any prep work you want to do before you go over? Research Romulan etiquette. No, you wouldn't
Just
know about that
assemble the
anyway.
information that we have,
Mhm.
the reports on what we've achieved and how it might work.
Yeah, how we're planning to proceed as well.
Okay. So, you gather in the transporter room, you beam over, and the lighting on the warbird is interesting. Some purples, some greens, quite low corridors with angled support struts. As she's there to meet you with her guard, who are wearing those typical TOS-style golden helmets, go over on the side. Says, "Greetings, cousin. Please, follow me."
We follow.
We do so.
So, is there anything you want to do as you're going to this place, or just following?
Just following.
We Gwissem scans the area. I don't know.
No, I'm assuming that you
No.
haven't tried to take your equipment over, because
Nah, let's
Okay.
not.
except
not.
communicators.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
So, you get to a meeting room which looks suspiciously like a redress of the Pathos meeting room set.
With other
Uh,
different lighting.
yeah.
perhaps.
And looking out the window, you can see the Pathos there. Not often that you see the Pathos from the outside, but it's there, looking beautiful as always. They sit down. Would you like to roleplay this? Or if you're just going over what you've already established, do you want to skip some of that?
We'll skip some of that.
Yeah. It would just be a repeat of what's
Okay.
already been established.
Sure. So you exposit and exposit and exposit.
Mhm.
And then after you've finished, she kind of leans back for a moment, says, "If the Romulan Star Empire were to be implicated in this matter, it would harm our trade. We would lose face. If you can find proof, I can assure you that we will put an end to this."
So basically, it would have been easier if we just grabbed the guy and the crew and left.
We have no proof yet. However,
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe our plan is our best chance of doing so. With reasonable risks.
Gives a
Agreed.
nod. Gives a nod. She stands up and says, "Very well. If that is all, my guard will escort you back to the transporter room. So, is that everything?
Basically just, set our rendezvous situation to get back in touch when we have the evidence.
Okay.
Yeah,
She informs you that the sealer will remain cloaked and nearby, monitoring the situation.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Did they cloak it again when the transport was finished?
No.
Alright.
But you are sitting outside of the station sensor range.
Alright. Okay.
Well, probably. You haven't actually scanned it, but what you would assume the station would have.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
So, do you go back to the Pathos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So, you beam back over.
Mm-hmm.
Final preparations are met. We've got a little bit of time left.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's time to see if the plan even is feasible and if they accept the shuttles.
Yeah, I think 8 minutes should be plenty of time to ask them whether or not
Yep.
they're going to
Yes.
accept our collateral.
So, you approach the station again, and you're pretty sure that the sealer is somewhere around. You get in contact, request docking again, you're granted permission, you dock, and
Yep.
actually,
I dock it myself.
In
good.
style. As
So,
last time. That's good.
Jeez.
what?
What is that?
One moment. Okay, so after docking, you are informed that since you are a returning customer, you have been granted an additional free betting token for Star Tally. And as it turns out, it's another dice set.
Well.
Do I get this dice? Nah, I'm joking.
I'm guessing Doviah is also going to get that.
Would we also?
Well, you've got the other tokens.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I would.
So yes.
All
I'd
right.
probably bet that first.
So
if it comes to that.
you're all
Even.
ready. Who's actually? We don't need to establish who's going to play Gwissem yet because that'll happen next session.
All right.
So,
Yes.
Gwissem and Doviah, you said you wanted to inquire in person whether this is acceptable or not. Yeah?
I don't think it was established. But
Might raise less suspicion.
yeah, now that we're here, we might as well.
So I'm assuming you've got scans of the vessels that you can then show.
them on pads or something. If
Okay.
are pads.
So, yeah, you've got the pads.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you beam over, you approach them. What do you do?
So where are we at the moment?
You've beamed over, you're approaching the entrance to the casino space where those two individuals who were there
Right.
over a day and a bit ago are still there. It looks like they're still wearing the same clothes even. One of them had a little stain on the side and it's still there.
Okay. So I would approach them and say,
Yes. Welcome.
greetings. We have returned. Then to ask, would you accept this as collateral? And I hand over the pad and whether
over.
things are on there.
Looks at it. Says, one moment. Verification is needed.
Of course.
And the other one goes over to the little intercom thing,
Mhm.
presses some buttons. On the Pathos, an alarm goes off on the bridge as you're being scanned. It's quite an invasive scan, specifically focused on the shuttle bay.
Huh.
After a moment, it ends. Turns back, says,
Wow.
"The two vessels are acceptable. Please, enjoy your time at Star Tally. The house is on your level."
Thank you. And
You're directed
so
inside.
turn to Quizmaster. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
go.
So, as you enter, it's time to
And
end the
you
session.
also have 6 crewmen with you, who are just
Oh,
doing some
yeah.
shore leave stuff.
Yes, you're right. Okay.
So, that's the end of that. Gonna be interesting next time.
Uh-huh.
So, what do you think?
It was nice. BGR, Eliza, yes. Thanks. It's room's bath. Yeah. It's a great session.
I don't like gambling. Can you tell I don't like gambling?
Yeah, I don't like it either, but as a GM, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell why I don't like gambling? I know the risks way too much.
Mhm. Yeah.
I can literally tell you the risks straight away.
Mm-hmm.
I've not even contemplated actual gambling enough to really know.
Yep.
Too bad we didn't put a
So-
payday on them. I mean, what Eliza and co are doing in the background, who knows?
Exactly.
The realm
So
of
what ship are they betting?
the
Oh, they don't
realm
have.
of-
They're not gonna bet.
the realm of headcanon is still a very large space. You can do a lot in that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So, with that, thank you all very much for watching. This stream, of course, will be archived, as you know. And I guess that's that. Unless anyone has some final words to say?
Well, it'll be. It's exciting for now. For next time, it'll be quite eventful. I already. Yeah.
Have fun with theatrics, Kango.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll try.
When you said Doviah, I was hoping that you were going to bring up the theatrics, and you did. So great.
Mhm.
Had to
Anyway,
be done.
yeah.
It was the only logical choice.
Yes, of
Indeed.
course. So,
So
anyway.
yes.
Bye bye,
All
everyone.
right.
Bye bye. Good
Bye.
night.
Ta-da!
Just wait for it to catch up for people.
Sure.
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
Jeez.